Hi, I'm going to be talking about how to future-proof your online course in the age of AI. In a world where AI can generate information in seconds, content alone is no longer enough. And as a result, online courses have evolved so much over the past few months. I'm going to be talking about where you can adapt to meet these changes. We're going to cover a number of things. First, the shift that's happening in the online course industry right now and what it means for you. Then we'll have a look at what will give you the competitive edge. So why providing support, connection and personalisation alongside course content is now so important. Essentially bringing the human back into online course design to ensure that you stay relevant and profitable. Third, we'll look at ways to personalise your online courses using cohorts, community and coaching so that your course stands out from the rest. And lastly, we'll look at a number of steps that you can take moving forward. So first, let's take a look at the shift that's happening right now in the online course industry. There's been a lot of noise in the online space recently and a lot of debate about whether online courses are still relevant and whether there's the same level of demand. There's also been a number of high-profile shifts, like Amy Porterfield announcing that she's no longer running her Digital Course Academy, which was her signature program. So I'm not surprised coaches and online course creators are questioning where they go next and whether there's the same level of demand for online courses that there used to be. Courses are not dead, but they're definitely evolving. They haven't lost their value, but there's been a definite shift in how they're delivered. Information on its own isn't the problem, but not having the backup to support that content is. So with the upsurge in the use of AI, people can get knowledge in seconds. Information is no longer scarce or inaccessible. So they're no longer buying knowledge. What they're buying is clarity, reassurance, accountability or support when they're stuck. So they can apply what they've learned to their own businesses. This is very much what we're calling the course shift. If your course feels like a content library, it's going to be vulnerable and it'll become increasingly difficult to convert. So we're going to look next at how we can redesign your online course to address this shift as customers look for greater support, connection and accountability. One of the questions we should be asking is how do we add the human touch back into our online courses? This is where all-in-one platforms such as Kajabi come into their own because it's not just a course platform. Systems like Kajabi have a number of features we can use to help with this. For example, it can be used to host an online community, manage your hosting calls and personalise the end user experience, all of which helps with support and connection. First, let's have a look at communities. This is definitely one way we can improve support and connection and bring the human back into the online course industry. I'm seeing such an increase in demand for online communities as more and more people are looking to add a community into what they offer. There's a number of benefits to having a community alongside your course offer. Number one, community drives action, accountability and real progress. Your customers are more likely to get the results they're looking for, whether that's managing their mindset or improving a particular skill. Secondly, engagement and retention go up. When people feel supported and connected, they're more likely to stay as part of your course or your membership. And third, it provides recurring sustainable revenue. A community reduces reliance on constant launches and creates a predictable monthly income. And lastly, there's less content pressure for you. You don't need endless new modules or new content. Discussion, coaching and support are equally valuable. So if your audience needs more support, a community is often the next natural step. And it doesn't need to be complicated or time consuming to launch. If you're launching a community, there's a lot of different ways to drive engagement, from group discussions where learners can post and comment on particular topics, to hosting live sessions within your communities for Q&As and guest expert slots. You can also run regular challenges to boost engagement and encourage your members to share their wins and milestones. Another thing to look at is cohort courses. And it's really good for encouraging support, driving connection, and more people are moving away from evergreen courses, which is essentially recorded content that can be consumed on demand, and moving towards cohort courses. So what are cohort courses? With cohorts, everybody starts at the same time. The content is released on a schedule, daily, weekly, monthly, and learners move in the course together all at the same time. And you can also add in things like live sessions to help with that accountability and connection. More importantly, completion rates for cohorts can be as high as 70%. Compare that to completion rates for evergreen courses, which can be around 10 to 15%, and you can see the difference that a cohort course can make. Another thing you could look at is adding in coaching support, and that's really, again, really good for support and connection. You can give people the option to book one-off or multiple coaching calls, and it makes people feel supported. And knowing that real help is available, real human help, it really helps move them forward instead of stalling, and keeps them accountable. A couple of other things that you could have a look at is adding in some automation and personalisation. Automations can be used to add in a more personalised experience. So examples of what could be added, for example, celebrating achievements and milestones, personalised check-ins, so if someone hasn't started the course or has stalled, you can send them a personal email, and segmented onboarding based on purchase type. All of these can be added into your online course for that extra layer of personalisation and automation. So what are your next steps? There's a number of different steps you can take based on everything we've looked at so far. So first of all, review your course experience and not just the course content. Where do people feel supported within your community? Where might they drop off? Is there live support available to them? Are they making visible progress? If it feels more like a content library, go back and have a look at some of the steps we've covered. And once you've reviewed your experience from a customer perspective, have a look at the actual statistics. Look at what percentage of your learners are actually completing the course or even starting it. A significant portion of people don't start an online course after purchase. Look at your onboarding steps. Do you have them in place? Are they personalised to the end user? And then have a look at having your system reviewed. Does your course platform help support learners, or is it simply hosting content? In the current market, competitive advantage is all about designing for support, connection and completion. Human support alongside smart systems and well-designed courses means future-proof courses that will keep you a step above your competitors. If you've got any questions about any of the content in this video, please don't hesitate to get in touch, and you'll find all my links down at the bottom below.